Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and this is another review of Love is Blind season 5, episodes 5 to 7. Y'all, this season, like I said, the last review for episodes 1 to 4, if you're yet to see, please go watch it. Like I said, this is the most entertaining. Anyways, let's not waste time. Let's just go straight into it. Season 5 starts off with Uche putting the call across to Aliyah because, when he went to the pod to propose to her, he was told by a member of the production team that Aliyah decided to not continue with the experiment. It's actually crazy um, how much of a terrible person Uche is, and we get to see it because how do you put someone through everything Aliyah went through, and you know how traumatizing? Let me not use the word traumatizing. You know how difficult that situation can be. And then she decides to leave the experiment because she feels like she can't handle it anymore. And what you're telling her is, yeah, you decided to leave. You're only thinking about yourself. That's so selfish. Dude, you have someone you dated in the same experiment with her. Turns out that she became her best friend in the women's quarters. And then tends to find out that you guys were together and you guys slept together literally a few months to the show. Are you saying she's selfish because she chose herself and she chose her mental health? And you're really putting, like, he was so upset and putting all the blame on Aliyah, and I'm like, you would think when you put a call across, to be like, oh, first of all, I'm so sorry that you had to go through all that. I know it's a lot. I can imagine. I know you probably had doubts. I mean, you needed some time, you know. And I mean, if you're ready to continue, maybe we can continue outside of the experiment because this is a life decision. It's not just about the show. But no, Uche was pouncing on her just the same way he was pounding on her when she opened up about cheating in her relationship 2 years ago. And you know the worst part? When she said that she had a confrontation with Lydia, I'm just like, first of all, Aliyah, you're too slow for my liking. Aliyah is too damn slow for my liking. Honestly, I think Aliyah has a problem. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to call that problem. I don't know if I should say it's self-esteem problems or the so much want to have a husband problem. Because this ain't making sense. After everything, she was literally telling Uche, I still love you, I still want you, I still da 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 da. Girl, for her to still want Uche this bad, it makes me wonder the kind of guys she's been dating because they must have really been worse for her to see something so good in Uche to still want him despite everything. Honestly, I don't get it, but let's continue. So I'm putting on makeup today in support of Taylor. I'm sure JP won't like this. JP is not gonna like this. He's gonna say he prefers me in my makeupless face and I look so fake. I'm presenting myself fake. Listen, it's so annoying because I can imagine the effort she put into trying to look good, like for her review and all that. And you come and you're awkward and you're blaming on how she looked. Okay, she did make up for her review, and that's the only time we see Taylor putting on makeup throughout the season, at least up until now. After the review, she's been barefaced and she's pretty as hell. Her freckles are beautiful, just like you said. So if when she did the review, you were worried like, oh my gosh, she's all made up. What is she going to look like without makeup? Will I still like her? Blah, blah, blah. In the end, y'all present yourself in Mexico and all that. And she's been without makeup. And you agree that she's gorgeous without makeup. So what exactly is the problem? What is the problem? Quite frankly, I do not understand JP. To me, I feel like he is just self sabotaging. You know, people that feel like, oh, she's too good for me, or this is not going to work. So let me just, look for an awkward and stupid ass reason to dismiss her. Because the part where she asked him, like, would you sleep with me like forever? And he was like, I don't know. She's patient. That's the day and time I would have packed my bag and left. Because what does that mean? The moment she packed her bags, after they had that argument, and she was like, she's gonna come back the next day. I'm like, this girl cannot be packing 2 boxes and a little change just for one night. I just knew that moment that she was going to break up with him, and that's why she was packing all the stuff. that night. I just knew the next day when she ended things, I wasn't surprised because I'm like, this girl was ready. She packed her whole bag. Like she knew she just wanted to break up in a friendly manner. So she decided to take the night off and properly think about how she's going to relay the breakup. And I support you, girl. Please, JP, I don't know what's wrong with him, but what he needs is probably therapy, not love, not marriage. Okay, love is not blind for JP right now. That's not what he needs. What he needs is therapy. All right. Okay, so let's move to Milton and Lydia. It's actually interesting how these two people are. They can't just get past kissing, holding. They've got jokes. They're all playful, fun. The energy is there. It looks good, at least up until now. Because I won't be surprised if they bring you episodes and we start to see things. But so far, it's been looking like okay, okay, okay. The part where Milton's, rather Lydia's brother asked me to, like, there's the serious part, right? Because he said it's like all fun with them. They're just having fun, like kids, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, marriage has a serious part. And I think that's a very important question because with Milton and Lydia, it's like, yeah, they're having fun, but how sustainable is that? I think the brother was right to ask because marriage is not, it's not a child's play. It's not every day you're just having fun, popping balloons and whatever. No. However, they're certainly gonna have a neck problem. Just like Stacy said, they're gonna have a neck problem because every time Milton is like this and Lydia is like this, I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, this height difference is crazy. All right, so we then go to Easy and Stacy. First of all, I don't think that there's a future for these two people. Y'all remember how Johnny mentioned that he had bad credit when she found out that he had proposed to Stacy. Just keep that in mind because I'm going to refer to it. Now, Stacy is a financially stable lady. She has two bands, baby. She has a house. She's comfortable. She's even, doing the whole renovation in her house. She's living the life. Easy, on the other hand, when you ask Easy, what do you do for a living? This guy starts to shalai. Baba, what do you do for a living? Go straight to the point. Most of the people, I don't know about abroad, but when people say they are in sales in Nigeria, sometimes we're like, they play. Because sometimes let me not say much. First of all, when I saw Easy the first time, I thought about like this guy gives me big dick energy with not so much sense and probably not so much to offer. But then again, I started to give him some second chance or some time to convince me otherwise because I might just be wrong. Big dick energy, I wasn't wrong in that because Stacey didn't mention that, she was surprised it was that big. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't wrong about that. And then not having so much of a way we can see it because I don't see why someone who has a lot of sense or even a little bit of common sense would keep a lost and found drawer of women's things in his house when he's having his fiance over. What kind of weird ass guy is that? So, as your fiance, you want her to walk into your house and see that you have one missing earring, one lash, one string of, random ladies. Who does that? Who? Easy does. Okay, so then we move to the part where, Stacy, of course, is saying she's worked hard to be where she is. It wasn't always like that. She doesn't necessarily want a man to do everything for her, but she wants a man she can rely on and who can support her financially. Like if maybe she needs something, she can say, oh, please, can you quickly cough up, a couple of dollars for me? And he can do that. Sometimes without her even asking, he can support her, which honestly, clap if you support that. Yeah, because I work hard for my money, but I want a husband that can take care of me. Yes, I want my husband to be able to take care of me. Right? I have mine, but you can take care of me. You can just come back one day and, oh baby, I thought you needed a new car, but your new car. Does that mean I can afford a car myself? No. But every lady likes that. Easy, I don't think he resonates with that. I think maybe it's easy. I've offered you a big dick. What else you want? I have a big dick. What else? Because his facial expressions kept, he wasn't really saying that, but when your facial expression is giving, oh, that's what you want. Oh, I didn't expect the wife would want that. Expression is giving me, you know. But then we can see it again when they go to Stacy's family house and they were talking about, when they were traveling and there was a whole box of shoes and it was like, where were they going? And like they were going to France. And the producer of the show zoomed in on Izzy's face, like, oh, I'm sure in his mind is like, how much a ticket to France? No, I don't think I can afford that. He starts going how he's never traveled before, he wasn't financially there yet, but he's getting there yet. And her father was right. Sometimes a woman wants a first class ticket to some destination. Sometimes she wants this, sometimes she wants that. Love, yeah, I love you, I love you, but that ain't gonna put food on the table. Are you up for it? Easy? Not easy calling Stacy materialistic because she wants to be served on a proper plate instead of disposables. If Easy cannot give Stacy food on a proper breakable plate, if he finds it materialistic to give her food on a proper breakable plate, they shouldn't even be in a relationship because the girl wants to see the world. She wants you to be able to, boy, you should just go now. I do not think Stacy is materialistic in any way. I think what she's asking for is valid, especially because she has her own. Like it's not like it's a gold digger saying I want it. She has her own and she lives up to that standard. So it's simply if you can't meet her there, please, please, sir, the door is open. That's it. And I don't think Easy is there. I think the way Easy sat in her Benz when they were going to their house, Easy probably thought, I've cashed a check. He just kept saying, oh, this could be where I'm going to leave. Then he walks into, her sitting room, the first one she showed. And it was like, you just need like an 85-inch TV, big couch. Bro, how much are you contributing? I like her response. Well, you can buy me that. I mean, if you can buy the 85-inch TV, saying that it's all men's dream to have a big TV, big couch. I mean, she's already saying she's going to buy a big couch as well. So if you want the big TV, 85-inch as you wanted, buy it. And she's right. Buy it. It's every man's dream. Nigga, use your money and fund your dreams. The fuck? that really made me laugh. But yeah, I think Easy and Stacy, no, they are not financially on the same level at all. And sometimes dating someone who's not in your tax bracket, especially when the guy is not in your tax bracket as a lady, sometimes it causes chaos. Now I don't know how they do it abroad, but in Africa, it usually causes chaos a lot of times because we have cases where after the marriage, the man feels like because she's more financially stable than I am, she doesn't respect me, she doesn't deserve that. I'm the head of the home. I want to be the one to manage her finances, whether she's the one earning it. It always brings so much chaos. So sometimes these financial conversations they might sound difficult, but it's better to have it. So I'm with Stacy on it. Put out your wants, put out what it is that is a deal breaker for you, especially when it comes to finances. Put it out there. Let him know. If he can't afford it, let him speak up now. Forever remain silent, baby, because this is marriage, it's not a joke. All right, so we move to Johnny and Chris are a thing now. They're dating now. Hmm. Chris, I must say, Chris is a very nice guy. The way he smiles, the way he composes himself, I just like his person. I think he's very calm and nice. Now, him being with Johnny and she crying and saying that she doesn't think she kind of feel like she didn't deserve him, and he gave her that second chance, so she feels very happy. Her mom likes him too. She's right. After what she did, she doesn't deserve him. He gave her a second chance. I hope he's happy, because I've seen Johnny to be kind of manipulative. She kind of manipulates things to suit her. At least that's the opinion I have about her based on the episodes we've watched. So I hope he's happy and he's not being manipulated in that relationship. Other than that, okay. So now let's move to Easy and Johnny having a conversation. First of all, I'm not sure why Easy decided to have that conversation, to be honest. I don't know. If I was Easy, she's engaged to, she's dating someone else. It's not my business. We already had a conversation in the men's quarters, that's him and Chris, where I told him that's been I mean I'm talking about Easy. I've told Chris this is what she said to me, and we have agreed that based on the fact that she told us opposite things, that's sketchy as fuck. So he already knows the context, and that's fine. If he decided to still give her a second chance, okay, I'll mind my business and move on. Do you get me? So having to pull Johnny aside to just start telling how sketchy as fuck she is, to me, I think that was childish of Izzy. He's right. He was calling her on a bullshit, but I just didn't think it was necessary. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Did y'all think it was necessary? Because I didn't think it was. Because that confrontation then escalated. Because Johnny, like I said, Johnny is a manipulative person. She's never going to accept it and say, oh, yeah, I actually did that shit. You know, I shouldn't have apologized. Knowing Johnny, she's not going to do that. She's not going to do that. So that for me to drag her aside and start having back and forth with a lady when my fiance is there and her boyfriend is there, I would rather not put myself in that mess. So Easy, I don't know. What he said was true. He called her out on her bullshit. I just didn't think it was necessary. I wouldn't do that. I don't think it was necessary. And the way he then called Stacy aside after the argument, I kept telling her, I love you so much, baby. Like, seeing everything, I just love you so much. Is it just me, or I was wondering if that guy was on drugs? Because was it sober? Because the way he just kept just looking at everything and just thank you so much, I love you so much, baby. Like, and Stacy, as usual, Stacy always has that response. She goes, don't compare me to the mess. Not you telling me I'm so glad because what? You're comparing me versus your mess. No, you're glad to be with me because you're enjoying yourself with me because of what I bring to the table, first because of who I am, not because when you compare me to your messy ass situation with Johnny, then you're grateful. No, I like to be honest, I love Stacy. I think Stacy is one person that's gonna say her mind as tease politely, calmly, and she's moved on. Like Stacy, she knows what she wants in life, and that's for sure. It's easy. I don't know. Is that guy acts sometimes? I feel like Easy needs to go back to therapy for a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like there's something about Easy. He still has a few things he's dealing with. The way he behaves sometimes, I don't know, it kind of puts me off. But I mean, we're gonna see in subsequent episodes how their relationship go. Yeah. So then let's look at Chris and Johnny. Do you feel like Chris should have stepped up a bit more for Johnny? I don't know. He just kept telling her on the side, like, you don't need to cry, just ignore them. But I don't know. I don't like Johnny, and quite frankly, I could care less if she was crying. But don't you guys think, as her boyfriend, you probably should have called Easy to the sound, like, dude, you shouldn't have. No. Maybe somehow Chris was a bit happy that someone called out on her bush, just a bit, just a little bit, you know. You were kind of a sketchy as bitch back then. Maybe you should be called out just a little bit, but I'm sorry, just ignore that. Because if another guy would probably have stepped in and be like, dude, no, but he didn't. Maybe it's just because he's a very calm guy as well, and he just didn't want to get involved in the mess. There's that as well. So, but yeah, that's that for that. Of course, Stacy doesn't like Johnny because, of course, Johnny said a lot of unnecessary things yet again when she found out that Stacy was a connection with Easy and that at the end of the day they got engaged. She said a lot of things that even me, I can agree that were unnecessary and mean. So I agree with Stacy not liking Johnny. And again, Stacy is mature. The fact that she didn't like Johnny, she didn't have to pull her to the side to say, I heard you said this. No, she just had fun and acted like Johnny wasn't there. Cordial, hi, hi, and that's it, which is what I expected Easy to do. But, Mr. Big Dick, he still has some things he's dealing with clearly. So, yeah. Let's talk about chaos. Let's dig a deep dive into chaos. Now, look at the conversation between Uche and Aliyah when they met at the restaurant. Aliyah, baby, Aliyah, someone needs to tell Aliyah that she needs to learn self esteem. She needs to learn how to choose herself. She needs to learn how to detect when a situation is not for her and that she needs to get herself out of it. Because how is Aliyah saying, I still want to be with you? My heart is in your hands. Your heart is in his hands. Your heart is in that manipulative, self absorbed, righteous judger of a person. For what? I'm confused. For what? For what? Honestly, I think there's a problem with Aaliyah. For real. She was literally begging Uche to take her back. No, there has to be a problem with Aaliyah because you cannot make this shit up. And Uche is demonic. So hold on, sir. You want her, in fact, you're mad at her for not giving your relationship a chance after hearing that you just slept with her friend that is in the same experiment with her 3 months ago. And your ex-girlfriend went ahead to say so many things that she didn't want to know. And she got really overwhelmed and left the experiment. I know that she left the experiment because she didn't love you. She left the experiment because she needed time. It was too much. It was toxic. It was overwhelming for anybody, really. But you're mad at her that, she left. And yes, I mean, she blocked you and blocked you. People do that when they're mad. It's not the end of the world. But she still told you, look, I just needed time. I love you. That thing she did was too much for you to take. And based off that, you ended the relationship because she walked away from a toxic situation temporarily. She wanted your love, but outside the experiment. Maybe then she can see more clearly. You couldn't forgive that, even though I don't even think you needed forgiveness. I mean, like, are you crazy? But you couldn't get past that. But you want her to get past the fact that you slept with Lydia, who is a friend, literally 3 months before the experiment, and Lydia was all in her face, telling her things she didn't want to know. You wanted her to get past that within a space of days. And just, yes, agree to marry you and act like nothing happened. But you can't forgive her or move past the fact that she left the experiment. Crazy. Like, this is madness. Absolute madness. And him talking about his mom and dad having gone through so much. I'm sorry, but I think Uche is coming from a home where his mom is going through a lot. I'm sorry. His mom must be going through or must have gone through so much in a marriage with his dad. I'm sure he's coming from a home where the dad does so much shit and the mom just has to take it and stay in that marriage. And so that's why he thinks it's okay to treat a lady like that and she has to take it and stay in it. Talking about this relationship and the experience are not separate. That guy is demonic. That's all I can say. He is narcissistic, self absorbed, demonic, and so much more. Now, let's get to the part where he was talking about the things Lydia has done. He said that she went through his things and then he found out. And then later, he also got to get messages from his female friends telling him that Lydia was viewing their stories and they sent him chats and he has proof of that. That then justifies the speculations after the first 4 episodes that were released last week that Lydia probably knew Uche was going for Love is Blind and decided to apply as well. And to be honest, that can't move past Lydia. I will not move that past Lydia. No. Because Lydia gives me obsessive. Did you all see when Milton was pressing his phone when he was trying to read out his new shift and she was looking like, that girl she's a stalker. Get a restraining order against Lydia. Because that girl, she's gonna stalk you to your death. I'm sorry. What? And he was saying all these things, and I'm like, the more reason Aaliyah should not be in that. That. Because have you watched all these movies, all these obsessed and all this kind of movies? Those people eventually at some point come back for you. Aaliyah, that should be have been the point where she's like, oh, is that what happened? Oh, all right. Bye, Uche. Bye. Because now, not only does she know Uche, she knows you too, Aliyah. She's made friends with you. Don't you think it's weird that of all the people in the pot, she decided to be your friend? That girl, she's a stalker. For real. Like, for real, for real. It sounds like a joke, but it's not. That's the more reason Aliyah should not be in that circle. And then we now move to the part where Milton and Lydia came for the get together with all the other people in the pod. And then Uche comes as well. And then Uche tries to remind Lydia of how much of a stalker she was. And Lydia was not having it. She was not having it. She was like, no, no, no. No, no, no. Okay, so first of all, I think Uche wasn't lying about that part. Because the way Lydia was denying it, it didn't feel like she was denying it like it was totally wrong. It felt like she was denying it because why are you saying it on the show? Because when Uche was talking, she goes, do you want me to tell everyone why we broke up? So it was more like, okay, since you want to put out what I've done in the past, let me put out what you've done too. So it's not like as if she was denying that she never did it, or maybe she tried to, but quite frankly, I don't buy that shit. I think she did it, but she did that because she sensed that Uche was sleeping around while they were dating. So she started stalking him because she sensed that maybe women have intuition and it might be one or two things she saw really. And then she started stalking. Both of them crazy. He's a cheat, she's a stalker, both of them crazy. And then the cheating ultimately resulted in them ending things. So Uche, who by the way told us that the last time he cheated was when he was 18 and it was just a kiss. Uche, who said that and was judging and pouncing on Aaliyah for cheating 2 years ago once, was actually a chronic cheat in his own relationship with Lydia. Plot twist, guys. Plot twist. Uche is a cheat. Lydia is a motherfucking stalker. Aaliyah, run for your life. It's good he broke up with you because you don't have sense. You probably would have still stayed. But it's good he broke up with you because run for your life. Before I read your story in True Crime, Love is Blind cast murdered by her fiance's or her husband's stalking ex. Because that's how it starts. That's how it starts, girl. That's how it starts. Crazy, yo. Crazy. This Love is Blind cast this season, they don't need love, they need therapy. That's for sure. That is for sure. Milton walked in as like, we have plans in 10 minutes. Trying to get his babe out of the situation because the other girls were like, where have you been? Uchi and Lydia are literally screaming at each other and having an argument. In subsequent episodes, we see that Uche actually pulled Milton to try to tell him how crazy Lydia is. Try to tell him that Lydia knew I was coming for the experiment and she came too. Like I said, let's see how that plays out. Let's see whether Milton and Lydia can move past this and be that playful, hey baby, neck problem pain couple after this one. Because this is crazy, yo. And Milton, I heard that Milton left his girlfriend. He was dating someone and he left that person to go on the show to go and look for Love is Blind. So he had a love that was visible. He left the visible love to go look for Love is Blind. And now he's with this crazy ass 30-year-old Lydia, who I think is crazy. She's fun with him, but I still think she's crazy. So I'm just wondering, after all this revelation, are we going to get to a point where Milton is going to be like, I think, yeah, I left my video games for a bit to come on this experiment, to experiment what Love is Blind is going to be like. I've experienced it, it's crazy. Ooh, back to my video games because I can't deal with this mess. Do you all see that happening? Well, we have subsequent episodes coming. So stay tuned. And when the next episodes come, I'm also going to be doing a review. You don't want to miss that. So click the notification button. Of course, subscribe to my channel. Let's review this season because it's really crazy, entertaining, and it's so unhinged. Let me know in the comment section what you think or what your thoughts are on episode 5 to 7. Right? See you guys in my next video. Bye.